Hello, beautiful being. Welcome to In Her Dreams, and welcome to your reading. I'm so grateful that you're taking time to tune in to see what messages are flowing in from Spirit for you. Ashe. Thank you, Divine. I'm hearing they're learning how to love through you. They're learning how to love through you. This could be someone that you know. This could be someone that you share information with. This could be someone that just watches you live. They observe you. But someone is learning how to love through you by what they see in you, the choices that you make. You are the most beautiful example of love that this being or these beings have ever seen. Of love. The most beautiful example of love that they've ever seen. Also, I was getting a message that came to me personally, and I knew it was for the collective. It's like the way that the divine was giving me this information was through a personal experience, but it's meant to be shared with the collective, with you, beautiful being. So we have these trees outside in front of our house, in our front yard, and they're cherry blossom trees. And when we first moved into this house, they looked very sickly. They had some sort of fungus on the bark, and we didn't really research it a lot, but we did have a tree expert that was out here anyway to do some work on other trees, and so they told us that it was a fungus. And so we just, every year, we would nurture the trees. I would put some compost on them, some fertilizer. I didn't really know what I was doing, but I was just feeling my way through, trying to give them some TLC, some tender loving care. And it's been years since we've been doing that. And we had fruit on these trees. Look at this. They're little cherry plums, okay? A bunch of them. We got a big old bowl of them, and there's still more out on the trees. So this season, they finally produced fruit. And they were just getting healthier. The trees were growing healthier and stronger, but they hadn't produced fruit in this quantity like this. And we tasted the fruit before, and it wasn't as yummy. But now the fruit is really delicious. Inside, it's very sweet, and then the skin is kind of tart, but I like it. So that was unexpected abundance. We were taking care of the trees, wanting them to get better and stronger, but we never expected to have a harvest like we have. And so the message for the collective is to not give up on something that you are giving tender loving care to. If there's something that you've been nurturing, if there's something that you have been honoring with your time, your dedication, and with the energy of your heart space, continue to do that, because something wonderful is happening that is going to produce such a beautiful bounty, an amazing harvest beyond your expectation. You're nurturing something that you enjoy nurturing because you just want to do it. You want to see something grow. But maybe it feels like you haven't seen the benefit of it yet. So you just feel like you're kind of giving. It will be worth it. It will be worth it. And you will be eating some delicious cherry plums, okay? Figuratively. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started and see what is coming through. Those were some interesting messages. So we'll see what Divine is bringing through for you. We've got friendliness here. Look, and it's 2 trees, y'all. It's 2 trees that are about this distance between each other. Maybe a little further. They're about 6 feet apart. Yeah, but there could be something that you're nurturing that's like, it could be related to a family or a group. Okay? There could be an energy of connection here. Something that you're nurturing. There is a relationship, or there's a significance here related to past lives. So the beings that you are nurturing this energy with or concerning, there is a past life connection there. Okay? This is not karmic though. I can guarantee you that. It's not karmic, but okay, so you know, like I was talking about the trees, there was, the trees were ill for a bit. They had a fungus, right? So they looked a little sickly. There was something that they were going through that needed time, tenderness, and attention. That's what is coming through with these connections that you're nurturing, or this connection, okay? It feels like there was a phase that you or this person or these beings went through where they needed to get quiet in order to learn and observe what it was that they needed for themselves, but they didn't know. This feels like a true lack of knowing, where a person knew that they weren't in the place that they needed to be, but they didn't know how to get to where they needed to be. Okay, so there was a lack of understanding or a lack of awareness even. Okay, so we have aloneness here. There's hermit energy. There's hermit energy that has led to abundance. Because what I'm getting is that you are so observant that you see the light. Like you, there could be a lot of darkness. What I'm getting here is that the darkness is the unknown. There's a lot of pieces to a puzzle that it's like this being or these beings don't know what it is that they need, but they know that they need something. And so you're able to identify what they need. You know the remedy. You know, it's just like with the trees. I didn't know what they needed, but it just felt like they needed some compost. It felt like they needed some fertilizer. You know, we cut off some sickly looking branches one year and that helped them. You know, it was like pruning. So it's like, you know, instinctively and intuitively what is needed in this situation. Whether it's a relationship or an environment, I see that there are multiple beings here, at least you and someone else, okay? Your knowledge that you have, your understanding, your ability to go within and see, I'm seeing you look through like the crevices. Like you're seeing aspects of this being and their energy and how you interact with one another that other beings would never notice. You see all the details. You feel the details because you're psychic. And you might not have proof of everything that you know, but you know. What you know leads to abundance. It leads to flowering. It leads to a fruitful harvest. There's stress here though. Somebody's stressed about a change. That's beautiful. So we have fighting, moment to moment, and then trust. So whereas before there was fighting, there was this, it doesn't have to be physical fighting. I'm getting that it's like someone fighting themselves, battling themselves. Or perhaps someone was in need of your wisdom, but ego got in the way a bit. And perhaps they weren't always receptive to it because they wanted to be right. But they knew that you knew the answer. They knew that you had the formula. They knew that you had the key. And so I love how these cards are together, moment to moment and trust, because it's where a person is no longer fighting to see the whole picture and figure it all out and always be right. They're living in the moment, just taking step by step, and they're trusting. They're choosing to trust the connection between you and the love that you radiate. Because that came through, that this person is learning how to love by observing you. I mean, wow. Whatever it is that they see you doing, however it is that you communicate with them, 1, 2, 3, 4 on the timer, they are learning how to love through you. Your actions, your words, your vibe, it all is teaching them how to love. So I already know that you are not in a state of ego, because nobody wants to learn how to love from a person who's claiming that they know it all. You know, if you were going around saying, I got all the answers, I know exactly what to do, you don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's like, who wants to learn from a person like that? So that tells me that your heart space is radiant. And no matter what it is that you've been through, your heart remains so sweet, but strong. You know, courageous and lovely and wise and willing to share. And this person loves that. They love your kindness. They love your sweetness. Now, what's coming through is that this is a being that you can be sweet with. You know, because our empathy is not for everyone. And perhaps you could feel empathetic for everyone, but that doesn't mean that everyone that comes into your space and approaches you, that you need to give them your undivided attention and your genuine kindness and you're just really nice to them. No, because as we know, there are a lot of people who like to take advantage of that. And so that is your precious energy that you are selective with, okay? But this is a being that, even though there has been some sort of, it almost feels like an ailment, just like my trees outside, we're struggling a bit, you know? There was some sort of breakdown or a genuine ailment of some sort. And it's almost as if this person was aching, they were hurting, and you were the nurse or the doctor who had the remedy. Even if you weren't formally trained, you instinctively knew, and you know what this person needs. And that's what it feels like, is that there was a time where they were fighting your wisdom, they were fighting your intuitive guidance, but they had to, that's what this is. Okay, because I was letting Spirit bring these two cards in because I didn't quite see it then, but this fighting that they were going through led to so much stress. They were fighting the guidance that you had offered. They were fighting the wisdom that you had offered. And so it's kind of like what I see you doing is what Mama Oshun did when the other Orishas stopped valuing what she was bringing to earth. Her rivers, her waters, her honey, her sweetness. And she left. And when the rivers dried up, that's when they wanted her back. So it doesn't have to be that drastic, okay, but it feels like perhaps you began to focus on yourself. If this person was fighting the guidance that you were offering, the protection, I'm hearing protection, the intuition, you just said, okay, well, I'm not going to fight you, right? Because you didn't want to be in this space where fighting then led to stress. That's where this other being already was. They started feeling so stressed out that they led themselves to a change. This is someone who realizes that they need your wisdom, they need your guidance, they need your intuition. But I want to be very clear that this is a being who values you, okay? This is not a karmic. So if you have a karmic in your life that you're like, but I cannot with them because they have done this, 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 and this, then this isn't your reading. I really do want to make that clear, okay? But this is someone who is ready to trust. And they're committed to trust. And also what I'm seeing in this trust card is that they have earned your trust. This is not a person who has gone out and done this, that, and the third, and then did this and that and this and that all over again. And okay, there could have been some cycles of not knowing, or some cycles of stubbornness, or some cycles where this person's soul was guiding them to understand, wait, did it work last time? Okay, did it work this time? Okay, then maybe it's not working. So you're gonna need to spin that wheel in another direction. Okay, it's like they're getting the lesson, but they are up for the challenge. And also, this is a being, you'll know if this reading is for you or not, because this is a being who makes your life better. That's the ding, ding, ding. I'm gonna be real. If this is a person who has made your life hell, run up your credit cards, gave you, oh my gosh, gave you an incurable something or other, and did this and that, and they keep doing it, not your reading. This is a being who is dedicated to making your life better, but there was an area in which they were struggling. But it's because they have lessons to learn. And they know this. They know that they have lessons to learn. Thank you, Spirit. What's coming through? What's coming through for this beautiful being? This could have felt messy sometimes. When the cards do that, I feel like it indicates that things could have felt a little messy, a little slippery, a little like... But I feel like what that is indicating is the need to trust. This relationship is here for you and this other being, or if this involves a group of people. I really do. I'm feeling like it's a relationship between two people. I mean, we have two trees here. Okay, it feels like that, but it could be a friendship. But it's teaching this person how to trust the divine. It's teaching you how to trust your intuition, because perhaps you have questioned your intuition at certain points in time. And it's teaching you both to trust each other, that there are beings on this earth who will work for your trust and will honor your trust. And they may not always have known how to do that, but that's why they're here, to learn. And they are up for the challenge. And yeah, this is a person who's willing to give consistent effort in learning. Our hidden fears resurface and past wounds reopen with doubt. If we don't face this together, these unresolved emotions will only grow stronger. Okay? So it's like Spirit is saying that there are two directions you can go in. You can choose fear, or you can choose what feels like trust in this situation. Okay? And there might be a fear of trusting, right? Because that's something that we experience a lot, is when we've been hurt. We don't want to trust again because we don't want to hurt again. 21 on the timer. So this may have been something that you have considered giving up on, and that's your prerogative. If that's what you feel guided to do, then that's perfectly fine. But for whoever this reading is genuinely for, Divine is saying that there is a treasure that awaits you for loving yourself first and foremost, and also showing grace in this connection, and allowing this person to show you that all they want to do is step up. That's all they want to do. They want to step up, and they want to be consistent. And if this is your reading, oh, this was the zombie card. So it's like choosing fear, which feels like death, or choosing trust, which feels like life and abundance. If this is your reading, this being is going to be very consistent, okay? And you're going to know that they are trying consistently. Lifesaver. You are not alone in this storm. As you grasp for air, salvation appears, and a breath away from safety. Yeah, you know, it's like there's something about your existence that has saved not only this being, but it gives hope to others around you. You are not responsible for saving other people, okay? But there is something about your energy that feels like hope. And also, that past lives card came through. So there is something about where you are with this other being karmically, where there are lessons that you are meant to share with them. Not necessarily by sitting down and talking, that could be some of it, but it's just really this person observing your transformation, because I feel like you have saved yourself. And that could be something that this other being never expected to observe, but they have been noticing you save yourself and choose to trust the divine rather than fear, okay? Rather than fearing what could happen. You've just been doing what you're led to do. And this has the effect on this other being of like being a lifesaver, because they have never seen another being do what you do. Not a mother, not a father, not a sister, not a brother, not a significant other, no one. They have never observed anyone do what you do and radiate love the way that you do. That's why they want to learn from you. That's why they are learning from you. If this is your reading, this person is already starting to do this, okay? guidance from above. Willingness to be open of the connection brings graceful understanding and enhances your presence. Clarity arrives when you allow yourself to be receptive. Yeah, and this is the owl spirit. Y'all know I love my owls now. Okay. Oh my gosh. I heard an owl the other night. I was outside at night. I love being outside at night. And then this morning, I'm in my bathroom. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I was like, okay, owl spirit. So the owl spirit has been very active with me, and I know that they're coming through. For me, when I hear an owl hooting, they're letting me know that whatever it is that I was contemplating then, or that I was saying, because sometimes I'll be talking and they'll start hooting, and it's like, that's wise. That's wise. Now, you and this other being, you inspire wisdom in one another. So that's very important, because it's not like you're their saving grace and you're just here to save them. No, what happens is, as you are open to receive with this connection, there is a lot that you will receive as well. So there's reciprocity here. It's not a handout. It could feel like that at certain points in time, because you might be in a state where you're like, But it's about having that faith and choosing to have faith and trust. And then that creates a bridge that allows this other being to meet you and show up as well. And then there is abundance that you will receive from that. And it's going to be very reciprocal. Okay? Yeah. Thank you, Spirit. I like that. Oh yeah. I want to go over here. Okay, I'm going to do some of these. And then I love this love deck, because I can already tell this is a beautiful, like, it's either a love relationship or it is a really sweet bond with another being. It could be a family member. It could be, I mean, it really could be anybody, but I am kind of picking up on like romance. It could be. Doesn't have to be. So I don't want to limit it to that. But I'll pull from that Deep Love card deck, which it could apply to different types of relationships. Thank you, Spirit. What needs to be known in this reading? What does this beautiful being need to know? Okay, there's a message that you will receive that will help you to transmute and good fortune. And then we have past life. Okay, there's a huge release that is happening at this time regarding low vibe energies between you and this other beautiful soul. There are things that have happened between you in a past life where the way needed to be cleared. There are things that have happened in this lifetime that this other being needed to release in order to open up to the wisdom and intuition that you have. Okay, so it's multifaceted. There are things that needed to be released from past lifetimes between the two of you, and then there are also lessons that this being learned that it ended up being more like subconscious programming, okay, in a very negative way. They learned things like, if I open up my heart, I'm gonna get hurt. Okay, so these are things that this person learned that have held them back from opening up to the joy that connection brings, that true connection brings. Also, another one that's coming through is that they may have had a very skewed take on what connection is. Perhaps they thought that connection was sex. I mean, and in a way it can be. It can be. Sex can be connection, or connection can include sex, but it doesn't have to. Intimacy does not necessarily mean sex. You can have intimacy without sex, but you can also have intimacy with sex, right? So there are some things that this person has learned that were incorrect, And so they have had to go on this very individual journey in order to release some of that unconscious programming from past situations, in order to clear the way to be open for real connection, real love. And I'm hearing genuine affection, okay? This person could be very affectionate, okay? Could be. That'll be for some of you. There's some sort of message. I feel like this is coming from you. There's something that you told this person that has transformed them. It's transformed them. They had no idea of what they were capable of within a relationship until you opened your mouth and said something. You might have an idea as to what this is. It could have been from a conversation that you shared. It could have been from, I see you like having a, not a heated argument, but it's something that you said to this person when they just got quiet. You had their full attention. And it's almost as if you were speaking from the spirit realm. You were being guided as to what to say. And you weren't really thinking. But it's something that you said when you were in spirit space. And they were just like blown away by it. They were blown away by it. Yeah. I'm hearing that whatever you said raised the bar for what they expect from themselves. Okay? So perhaps they only thought that they were able to achieve a certain level of connection or a certain level of intimacy. And because that's all they had ever seen anybody do. It's something that you said that opened their eyes to what they are able to do and the joy that they're able to experience. And now they want that. Okay, yeah, this leads to good fortune. Okay, whatever this is that you told this being, I'm gonna go ahead and call them a beautiful being. They are not karmic, okay? They have had to learn a lot of lessons, but don't we all? Okay, and there's something from a past life that they are indeed releasing that is freeing them. It's like they're ready. They're ready. Also, these could be ties to other beings from past lives. I'm really feeling that very strongly, that this person had a lot of ties to other beings that were karmic or that still are karmic, and they have gotten to the place where they are ready and already have been cutting ties. Toxic cords. Okay? Yeah, this is leading to transformation that has happened in divine timing. And now something is being revealed or illuminated. Lessons, okay, that bring affluence. And also passion. If this is a romantic connection, there's passion here. Fire and new life. Okay? Your guides, your ancestors, and your spirit allies are blessing this connection. And you will see evidence of growth. Okay, Divine is saying to contemplate, like think about not the things that have gone wrong, unless you're doing it from a space of like learning. If you think about things from the past that have happened with this person that make you angry, you can ask yourself, is this helping me to learn something? Is this helping me to release something? Or is this just making me mad all over again? Because at some point it is a choice. Once we have like chewed on an event from the past and gotten everything out of it that we could and learned from it, sometimes we can find ourselves in a low vibe state, and then we start going back to that memory and it's just making us mad and not doing any good. Whereas if you are in a high vibe state and you think about a past memory that made you angry, you might learn something from it. You might get a lesson out of it, or you might reflect on it and come up with something that could help you or someone else because you're reflecting on it. Okay? It's not rumination. It's purposeful. Okay? There's something good coming out of it. But yeah, think about the joy that you want to create with this other beautiful being. What joy can you experience together? How can you experience the life that you enjoy together? How can you make these memories? What can you do? What can a day with this person look like? What can an experience that you share with this person look like? Make plans that are happy, you know? And the more you do that, the more insignificant things from the past that perhaps were a source of heaviness at one time will seem that those experiences will feel lighter to you. Now, Divine is warning that the beautiful connection between you and this being is a source of jealousy for some people. Okay, but one thing that's coming along with all of this healing that's happening between you is that you're grounded. And you have knowledge that you did not have before. And so those two things, your ability to ground your energy and to know things that you didn't know before. You know what I just heard? Okay, let's say if there was any, because we've got magic here, and then we had jealousy. If there was any sort of love spell that was impacting this situation, there could have been, because this is a source of jealousy, your connection with this person, other people are jealous of it. If they have thrown negative energy your way, with knowledge coming through and magic, all it took was awareness. An awareness of the energies that people have been trying to send in order to attack this connection and this healing energy between you. And it's like immediately the veil was lifted. So whether it was you becoming aware of evil energy being sent to this connection, or this other beautiful being becoming aware of that, your awareness has led to your own magic, which is also protection. You're now aware that people are jealous. You're now aware that people send evil vibes, but your awareness of this allows you to speak your own protection. And so it's as if the awareness caused the veil to go away. You see, and this person sees. And this allows you to trust one another and to have gratitude for one another. Okay, we've got Divine Feminine here. So you might be this Divine Feminine, or this other beautiful being might be Divine Feminine, or either one of you embody this energy so beautifully. Okay, and it could be that you embody that energy together. All right, let's see. Ooh, metamorphosis. Yes, you've definitely been through a change that brings life. Memory. Treasure every shared memory, shining like jewels. There could be a marriage here, but either way, there's a very close bond. A very close bond. And I remember affection came through before. There's mutual affection here. I see adoration. And there's something about tenderness. That could be why that Divine Feminine card came through. There's tenderness either in you or this other beautiful being that is experienced that just is like so healing. It's like, you know how the world can feel so rough sometimes? This is coming from you. Yeah. So even if you are male, this is your divine feminine energy that is so healing, okay? Or you may be female, okay? But your divine feminine energy is the healing nectar that soothes whatever discomforts this external world causes for this other person. This could be what they experience when they go out to work, or what they encounter with other beings outside the home or outside of your relationship. There is something about your energy that is like a healing balm, okay, that soothes their soul. And you are the first being that has ever been so tender with them. That doesn't mean that they haven't had love before, that they haven't experienced, you know, kindness and tenderness, or even love, maybe from a family member or something like that. But you are the first being that embodies this divine love that is so consistent and so real and so honest. And you also come along with the wisdom that this beautiful being needs and desires, okay? So it's not to say that they've never been loved by anyone before, but they have never experienced love with another being in the way that they experience it with you, because you also bring intuition, wisdom, guidance, but in a way that is not ego-centered. You are love-centered, and they have never experienced that before. Also, it's coming through that the ancestors bless the connection between you, both their ancestors and your ancestors, if you have different ancestors. Because if you're blood related, then of course you would have the same ancestors. But if not, if you're not blood related, both of y'all's ancestors, I'm seeing them come together and hold hands. So they work together for you all's benefit, to support you. Your ancestors work together. Mediator. So you all's ancestors are mediating between you. Okay? They're working on behalf of both of you for peace, and I'm hearing comfort. And they bring you the divine guidance that you need in order to share with this beautiful being and to inspire them. But also they're working directly with both of you. Okay, they work directly with both of you to help bring balance, and to bring balance with emotions as well. It says balancing the scales of emotion. The beach could be significant there. I'm getting shells, rocks, seaweed, hermit crabs. Also ducks, although I don't usually see ducks at the at the beach. Could be seagulls though, but something about ducks. Meet each other again, like for the first time, with fresh eyes. Yeah. There's something about a huge change that needed to happen, not only for the sake of this connection, okay? Let's say if there are children involved, there are lessons that needed to be learned in order for the sake of all involved, okay? Everyone involved in this connection, or that's associated with you, is benefiting from you all's peace and you all trusting each other. Thank you, Spirit, for these messages. I am so grateful, so very grateful that you allowed them to come through me, Ashe. And thank you, beautiful being, for taking the time to tune in, tap in to this reading. I am so grateful. I'm also grateful for your likes, your shares, your hypes, your comments, your subscribes, your donations, all of it. All of it. I am so thankful. Every bit of love that you send my way or towards this community, this channel, I am so thankful for it. And I love you. I love you, I love you, I love you, and I wish you peace. I wish you joy and so many blessings. Take care.